Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I feel like the cat right now in the Shaq meme, just shaking around. I'm excited for this. It is a DTM Trophy round number 5, officially round number 3, but it is race number 5. We have 2 races per round, and we are in for an absolute cracker of a race today. As you can see, all the cars are formed on the grid. I can see so many of you in the YouTube chat right now. Get yourselves involved while you can. Who is winning this race? Who are you here to support? And where are you watching from? So, as you can see on the front row of the grid, then it is P1 for Ben Green on the left-hand side of your screen, and Moritz Lerner is in P2 there on the right-hand side of the screen. It looks like they've got a Volkswagen camper van, by the way. I don't know, disco van, that's what we're going to call it, because it looks like it's got some big speakers there. I don't know what that is, but it looks cool as hell. It is also matte black, but I think that might be a camper van. It is slick as they come. So, we've got some Lirim fans here, nice to see. But yeah, it should be a good race today, as they always are. We've only got, what, 9 minutes to go until racing, so they're just doing their final checks. Then we'll have a formation lap, and then it's 30 minutes plus 1 lap of racing. It's exciting times. It really is exciting times. And, well, the fact that championship leader is all the way down in P9. So P9 then for championship leader Will Tregurtha. He needs to get a hurry up. He needs to get through the pack here. Otherwise, Ben Green, who's pole, could potentially take the lead of the championship. Michael Schreyden is actually only in P4 as well, so he could potentially leapfrog Will Tregurtha as well. So, yeah, big day in the office for Will Tregurtha. This is the days where you earn your championships by the end. If you can maximise your points finishes on a day where it's not quite going to go so well as it's previously gone, that indeed all accumulates over the course of a season. Switzerland, V-Dub van, set purple. Is it purple? Of course, Rachel's here for Ben Green. Love to see it. 24-ounce Perel is supporting Moritz. Nice. Jeff supporting Ben Green as well. Humid Basingstoke, not far from me at all. Claudia Mundell from Brazil. We've got some Germans watching as well. Of course, we've got some Germans. So, yeah, let me know where you're watching from around the world, ladies and gentlemen. And then we will get involved in some racing very, very shortly. South Africa as well. No, Bianca. No mandatory pit stop today. It is flat out. Flat out's just, yeah. Flat out sprint from start to finish. Supporting a great race. Love to see that, Paddy. Amsterdam as well. California, Mexico, Wales, Finland. Oh, look at this. Nottingham, Chicago for James as well. Ryan Hammer, what a name. South Africa for King's Kid. America, Belgium, nice. Southend-on-Sea. Okay, it's going quickly now. New Zealand, California, Philippines, France, Belgium. Where else? Michigan, USA. I think that's Michigan, isn't it, Cashley? Belgium. Woohoo! There's always a Belgian. There's always a Belgian, CT Rex. It is a fact that there is, in fact, always a Belgian. We've got Brazilian, Thailand. Oh, wow, this is pretty crazy. Iraq, India, Scotland, Belgium. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that is the disco van. Here's Moritz Lerner then. He is second on the grid. Do you want me to sing? Shall I sing? I'm not going to sing. No, let's not ruin people's day. Lucas Maron then, who was an absolute stalwart for last season and really found some form at the end of last season by winning 4 races. He's back up there at the front. Well, that's one way of getting a copyright strike, DTM. That's for sure on YouTube. Michael Schreyden is in 4th position. He starts on the 2nd row of the grid. Big chance here today, considering that Tregurtha is back down in 9th position. He could potentially close that gap in the championship lead. Tim Heinemann then, last season's champion. This man has got some performances under his belt. This is his 16th race in total. He has 6 pole positions. He has got 13 top 10s, 12 top 5s. He's got P3 twice. He's got P2 3 times, and he's won 7 races. Nico Verdonk then, the number 90. He is indeed racing in his 11th race right now. Never got pole position. He's got top 10s 5 times, top 5s 4. He's got himself a win, a second, and a third. Theo Uverhaus is the next driver then, the number 34. He has indeed got himself a top 5 twice, top 10 4 times. Mike David Ortman. I think he's going to be a little bit disappointed with the pace that he showed today. He's definitely faster around here with this car specifically than what he's shown in qualifying. So I'm expecting to see him absolutely fly through the pack during the race. Here is your championship leader then. It is Tregerfa. He leads the way by 12 points as it stands. So he's 12 points clear of Ben Green. Ben Green starts on pole, but actually no, it's not 12 points now because Ben Green got the 3 bonus points for pole position. He's now 9 points, so big opportunity here for Ben Green. Michael Schreyden has closed the lead ever so slightly as well. He's 13 points further behind Ben. We've got then Marcevic, who has been, well, in practice he was incredible and may have just missed out a little bit, I would say, in qualifying. Expecting these two to be flying through the field again as well in the race. Lirim Zendelli, a lot of Zendelli fans watching this weekend in the T3 Motorsport team. And he just seems all cool, calm and composed. Again, showed a lot more pace in practice yesterday than he did in qualifying. Qualifying just got caught out a little bit, I would imagine. Next up then is Nicholas Bourne, another new driver onto the grid for this weekend. He's in the number 31 for Haida Motorsport. First race for him. We've got 22 drivers on the grid as well, so this is going to be, well, if you've watched before, ladies and gentlemen, you know how frantic this is. It's Reinhard Koffler then, back from last season. First race of this season. He actually does have a podium to his name. What he can do from this far back, I am not too sure, but I'm sure there's going to be some sort of excitement. Christopher Rink for Hoffer Racing by Bonk Motorsport is the next driver on our grid. Philip Stolschmidt then is our next driver in a BMW as well. Yeah, don't tell anyone, Mark Hedinger, but I'm the same. I get really excited for this championship. Salonen then, our Finn is at the back. Would it be a flying Finn though today? 1 minute 50 seconds before our formation lap around the Nürburgring sprint variant of the circuit. So it's not the full GP layout, but it does have the GP chicane at the end. So it's the slower of the 2 chicanes. Not the 24-hour, it's the one just a little bit beforehand. Oh, Cygnus Blossom. You can't be laughing at the word bonk. We're both children. Right, here we go then. So we are nearly ready. 1 minute then. Again, if you've just joined, let me know where you're watching from around the world and also who you think is going to go out and win this race. I want to see everybody spam the chat. I want you to make it so I cannot read it. So we've got the Nordschleifer and the Green Hell in the background. Ben Green is on pole with Moritz Lerner, then on the front row with him. Lucas Mauron and Michael Schrey are on the second row with Tim Heinemann, Nico Verdonk in the third row. Theo Uverhaus and Mike David Ortman on the fourth row. William Tregerfa and Marcel Marcevic then are your fifth row. Only 0.6 of a second separates the top 10 here. And 5 different manufacturers on the front 10. We then got Lirim Zendelli, Nicholas Bourne. We've got Reinhard Koffler and Christopher Rink, Philip Stolschmidt, Matthias Salonen, Maximilian Schmidt, and Laura Krayhamer. We've then got Jan Zimmer and David Michael Zurban. Okay. Chandler Hull and Sophie Hoffman round out our grid. Oh, I did say to make the... I did tell you guys to make the chat go crazy. You're making the chat go crazy. Fair play. Absolutely fair play. First Bulgarian, Victor. First Bulgarian in the chat. Lots of Australian and Malaysian now. Some Malaysians. So here we go then, formation lap time. Get excited. 30 minutes of frantic racing. The long run down to turn number 1. Oh yes, it's got everything, this track. Ben Peters, there's always a Belgian. It's a fact. Thank you, Susan. Dominican Republic, wow. We're everywhere. So here we go, we've got the classic DTM Trophy camera action as well here. Look at this. Whew. You can almost touch the cars. Feels like I can smell them. So there we go, we head then through the right-hander, downhill right-hander, which is what distinguishes the sprint version to the GP version. Hopefully there's going to be plenty of photo opportunities for the photographers today. So merely a couple of corners to go. They will indeed, just before the final chicane, line up 2 by 2. There he is, the grid man himself. So here we go then, Ben Green is in the white car, the number 10, and then the red car of Moritz Lerner is just in behind. And then we have got the Mr. Fireworks himself, Lucas Mauron. His car looks like the end product of a set of fireworks with all those colours, but I can assure you, ladies and gentlemen, if there's an opportunity to make a move up the inside here into turn number 1, Lucas Mauron is taking that opportunity. Get excited, here it comes. It is race number 1 of the weekend. It is round number 5 of season 2, season 2021 of the DTM Trophy. Ben Green on the left-hand side of your screen has won before. We've got green lights already here, and Moritz Lerner has been proper caught out. Lucas Mauron then does indeed get underneath that rear wing of Ben Green. And well, Michael Schreyden's up to P2, potentially P1, late on the brakes around the outside. Moritz Lerner's trying to steal some positions. Tim Heineman sent one up the inside of Lucas Mauron. Mauron now 3 wide with Moritz Lerner and Heineman. And I think Lerner's just about going to hold on to P4 here. And Heineman's nearly got spun around by Lerner. Lerner trying to send those up the inside. Ben Green still leads the race. What a frantic start. I can't believe everyone's still facing the right way. As we come then through the first sector here, you can see that is indeed Will Tregurtha has gone from P9 up to P4. Championship leader is up to P4. What a drive thus far. Nico Verdonk then trying to defend from Lucas Mauron. Nico Verdonk trying to make a move up the inside then of Moritz Lerner. Mauron's now trying to make it 3 wide on the exit of the right-hander. All sorts of action going down here. So there's been a lot of winners in this, but there's also been a lot of losers. But everybody is still facing in the right direction, which is always a massive, massive positive. And it looks like Salonen is just dropping back here further and further and further. And actually, wasn't it Salonen? Might be, no, it was Will Tregurtha who's up to P4. Oh, off the circuit we go then. Oh, that is not good. That is not good at all. For the Aston Martin. You do not want to be off the circuit there. Have so much pace this weekend. And then David Ortman, unfortunately, finding himself just dropping further and further back. And it's not fast on the kitty litter, that is for certain. Through the final chicane we come. And there's a little bit of argy-bargy then. So you can see the Audi then at number 22 trying to get involved as well. Up the inside. Christopher Rink is also trying to get involved here. Ben Green, though, has already disappeared up the road. Tim Heineman, P3. Remember, keep an eye on him. He is a championship winner. The first inaugural season of the championship. He won out. Ben Green then, again, extending his lead here. We've got Markovic in the number 12 car, the AMG that is indeed orange and green. Moritz Lerner is losing another position here by the looks of things, which is super unfortunate. Nico Verdonk again just trying to keep the advances of Lucas Mauron at bay. And wow, what a start. Really, really quick. Really, really close. And wow, very much incident-free at the start of this. They're all running wide here. They've had lap times deleted in qualifying for running wide there. So they need to be a bit more careful, ultimately. Otherwise, they could indeed receive penalties. I'm sure they'll receive a couple of warnings first, but yeah, the last thing you want to be doing is incurring any time penalties, especially when it's as close as it is right now. You know, 27 minutes, 30 seconds to go. And there you go, you can see now on the left-hand side of your screen all of the positions here. So it is indeed Ben Green, Michael Schrey, Heinemann, Tregurtha. What a recovery drive this has been from a poor qualifying P9. And he needed to have something go his way. And well, in the start of this race, he's gained 5 positions up to P4. Verdonk is in 5th. Mauron's dropped down then to 6th from 3rd. Uverhaus 7th. Lerner 8th. Then we've got Reinhard Koffler in the KTM, by the way, up into 9th position. So that's a hell of a drive there. Marcevic then just in behind. You can see in that AMG, the number 10. Stolschmidt then is in 11th. Bourne is in 12th. Ortmann is in 13th. Christopher Rink 14th. Jan Zimmer then is in 15th. Zenderli is in 16th. Salomon, then we've got Schmidt in 18th. Kreyhamer, Chandler Hull, David Gerban and Hoffman in P22. So that is your full driver list here. Everybody's still in pretty close contention. You can see that Ben Green, though, is, well, he's checking out right now. Tim Heinemann looks like he's pretty close to Michael Schrey. But as it stands, Ben Green and indeed Schrey are going to close this championship lead up to Tregurtha. Tregurtha doing everything he can. Lucas Mauron, by the way, has got the move done here on Nico Verdonk. So the Audi has moved up a position. We know once the Audi gets going, it is an absolute rocket. So can he potentially go and upset the front four? Thank you for your kind comments, Blairin. I really do appreciate that. So here is a replay here then. So you can see the Tregurtha just opening up turn 1. I'll tell you what, if that door was left open any longer, I think Mauron's going to try and send one up the inside of both of them. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, if Mauron sees an opportunity, oh, he will send it up there. Not even a second invitation needed. Heinemann very close, by the way, to P2. Very close to P2. Now you've got Ortmann now as well. Ortmann looking to make a move on Nicholas Bourne for Haida Motorsport. It's his first week of racing, of course. You see the Marcevic there going ever so slightly defensive with Philip Stolschmidt. They've both made their way up the order ever so slightly as well. They've made up a few positions. As we come up towards the Coca-Cola curve, the final corner. I'm not too sure what it's called these days. I know it was always called the Coca-Cola curve back in the day. Probably isn't anymore. Just making things up though, aren't I? Classic. As you can see here, Stolschmidt, Marcevic. Stolschmidt not able to get the job done. Marcevic holds on. And this is giving Reinhard Koffler the chance to just drive away in P9. Top 10 score points. So this is the battle for the final points pair position. Ben Green still 1.8 seconds ahead here of Michael Schrey. He's having a great race here. And this is exactly what he wants. He'll just be wanting to drive out into the lead, not be too worried about things, and just coast to a finish. But we know that the BMWs in the final 10 minutes always tend to struggle with their tyres. Their tyre wear is hugely effective in this race. Look at this then. You can see that there's 3 cars, Tim Heinemann being behind Lucas Mauron, battling on the left-hand side of the track, and then everyone else on the right-hand side of the track. Look at this then. It is an absolute drag race down towards turn number 1. And you've just got to, tip your hat to Michael Schrey. Schrey's made the biggest advances there, really. Heinemann's just like, look, I'm sending it up the inside. I'll leave you a little bit of room on the outside, but I'm coming through. Does take P3. Tregurtha, though, is the big winner. It was Lerner that gets squared up onto the apex of the corner. And there we go. We saw Ortmann just driving off circuit into the sand out there, building some sandcastles. It is the perfect day for it. But now the gap is around about 2 seconds. So Michael Schrey again in second. And ultimately, Schrey is going to catch up to Tregurtha, who leads the championship. But he's going to lose ground to Green, who is ahead of him in second right now. So ultimately, Schrey needs to start hurrying up. And also, they both know that their tyres will go off as well. So watch out for Heinemann. As Lerner's just dropping a bit further back now. Theo Uverhaus up into P7. Moritz Lerner not able to retake that position. So from P2 on the grid, it's not been the best of days for sure. Lucas Mauron there just gets caught on the curb. And you can see there, missing the next apex as well, losing loads of time. Nico Verdonk not able to find that gap. Bit of a mistake there again. We've got the sassy DTM Trophy sassy cam. I think that's what we're going to call it from now on. But everyone's relatively close here. 22 minutes, 30 seconds to go. Maron now 1.2 seconds behind Tregurtha. So he would have seen that Audi become a little bit smaller in his rearview mirror with Tregurtha. He'd be relatively happy with that. It all just stemmed from one mistake. In Sector 1, if you make a mistake through one corner, especially the complex after turn 1, then that is it. You are completely done skied. You'll just lose time at every corner after that because you're just trying to recover too much time. It just doesn't work out. These are all still pretty close. Through the final chicane they come. We're on lap number 5. We're heading on to lap number 6. Tim Heinemann still very close to Michael Schrey. He'll be fully aware that the tyre drop-off will happen. Tregurtha, being in the AMG, will also be fully aware. Again, he has the most ballast on board of his car, does Tregurtha, so that's why if he didn't have any ballast, you'd be probably seeing him flying up the order. And actually, if he was to finish P4 right now, I think if you'd offered him that at the start of the race, he would have been like, yeah, absolutely, I'm taking P4. It means no ballast. Moving on to tomorrow's race number 2, as Lerner tries to send the nose up the inside. It doesn't quite work out there, so Uverhaus just lives to fight one more day. Reinhard Koffler in the KTM then trying to sniff through an opportunity as well. Not quite close enough. Nico Verdonk there flashing his lights furiously at Lucas Maron. Going to be honest with you there, Nico. I believe that Maron knows you're there. So if you're trying to say hello, maybe try to send a text message or a WhatsApp message. But as they come up towards the right-hander, again, Maron just about hanging on here. Really struggling for pace, actually. Becoming a bit of a cork in the bottle for the rest of the cars in behind. So Ben Green has actually been caught up ever so slightly by Schrey here. Heinemann is still around 0.6 of a second behind Schrey. But I'm really expecting him to be able to attack after 10 more minutes. I would imagine that Heinemann's going to be able to attack. Maurice, welcome to the stream. Again, welcome to everybody who's watching right now. Hopefully you're enjoying yourselves. If you're not, such is life. And Altman then is not going to leave any room there. Oh, wow. No, he didn't leave any room for Nicholas Bourne there. That will for sure be looked at. Very aggressive racing, to say the very least. As Reinhard Koffler here is going to lose the position. Marcevic, then, who was fastest in free practice 1, is currently looking to make the move here on the KTM. Meanwhile, Moritz Lerner's been able to drive away here as well. Stoll, Schmidt, hold it. No one's going to be home there, Reinhard, I'm afraid. That's going to be a loss of position for sure. See, oh, 3 wide. 3 wide coming down in towards turn number 1 in the background as well. And, oh, Lerner gets squeezed off here by Reinhard Koffler. Fair play to Moritz to be able to hold on to that. There you go, you see it once again. Oh, what a save. What a save that is. And then you see the excursion between these two through the chicane. Ortmann, definitely didn't leave enough room there for sure. Highly aggressive. And there's the KTM. Now you see him, now you don't. But didn't lose a position, actually. Was trying to hold on to the position he lost in the final corner, but didn't lose a position through that corner. Multiple different lines, though, through there you can take as well, so it's not the end of the world if you are indeed run out wide. Just means you can get the power a little bit earlier. Got loads of room, loads of road to use on the outside. As again, we're still on board with Lucas Maron. Maron really is the cork in the bottle, as I said earlier. Nico Verdonk not able to get past. And how much pace does the Belgian have? He needs to get past Maron here. He needs to set him up. Really, through Sector 1 is the best opportunity. I'll tell you what, he's actually really close here. He's got a very good exit. How close is he? We get a better shot of this for sure. As we run then down in towards turn number 1, Nico Verdonk not quite close enough actually. But again, if you can set him up through the first sort of 5 corners, so set him up through turn number 2, force him to make a mistake. He's been making mistakes there for the entirety of this race, to be completely honest. Just not able to get it tucked in through this left-hander. And you see he's running wide once again. It just seems like the rear wants to do all of the work for the car. And ultimately, Maron not looking too comfortable with that. But Nico not able to get close enough. That's the only trouble. If he can get a little bit closer, he might be able to make the move. But unfortunately, it's just not quite going down for the Belgian as it stands. Maron, though, doing a sensational job. Again, he doesn't look comfortable in the car at all. But the fact that he is indeed holding on to that position, mad props to him. Mad props to him, because definitely looks like he's the slower of the 2 cars. That is a fact. But meanwhile, that's giving Tregurtha now a 2.7-second advantage over that group of cars behind. He's now going to start to attack it, and someone's run wide there as they've kicked up a load of dust. Again, Nico Verdonk just saying, all right, Lucas, still behind you, mate. Hope you're well. Fancy going for a drink later? That's what the flashing of the lights means, guys. Nothing more, nothing less. Up towards that final chicane we come once again, and Tregurtha is really close now to P3. So the battle for the podium is well and truly on. Moritz Lerner then trying to recover here, and actually he's got past Markovic. So he has recovered nicely here. He's in behind Theo Uberhaus. And then he wants to try and get onto the back of the two in front. But as you can see, Nico Verdonk's just dropped back ever so slightly as well. Heinemann not moving forward here, so he's starting to struggle. And Tregurtha, who is in the same car pretty much that what Heinemann won the championship in last season, the AMGs. Moritz Lerner gets squeezed out wide there. Yeah, left a perfect car's width. Uberhaus not being friendly there in the slightest. Really nice racing, hard but fair. But yeah, Tregurtha now is really close behind Heinemann. Heinemann's starting to maybe struggle here. Schrey and Ben Green, they're having it all their own way today. But again, they will be receiving some ballast for tomorrow, that's for sure. So hopefully you're all well in the chat. Say 2.3K of you. Welcome. If you're enjoying yourself, post a smiley face in the chat. Everybody could do with a bit of positivity in their lives, hey? This is all fun. I love this championship. I think it's brilliant. Close, high-octane racing. One mistake and you're done skied. One mistake and you're done skied. Heading up then towards that final chicane. Nico Verdonk still flashing his lights. He's going to need some new bulbs by the end of this race for sure. He won't be driving home tonight in that car, for sure. They will have no lights to work with. Up towards the final corner we come then. Mauron again, under a bit of pressure. And Nico Verdonk finally close enough here to maybe attack him down towards turn number 1. Tucks in underneath that rear wing of the Audi. Is he going to be close enough though as they come? The Audi again is an absolute rocket once it gets going. How late can you go on the brakes here? That's the big question. Not late enough, so Nico Verdonk's going to have to, again, try and set him up through here. As Mauron makes a little bit of an error there, misses the apex. Not by a lot. Again, you can take multiple different lines through turn number 1. You don't really lose too much time there, as Tregurtha is really now attacking Tim Heinemann. So Heinemann are under a lot of pressure. We're at the halfway point of this race as well. Oh, look at all the smiley face. Oh, so many smiley faces. You love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Good work, people. Kill negativity with kindness, ladies and gentlemen. That's the best way of dealing with it. So Tregurtha then, looking to make up one more spot. And it's kind of a double-edged sword here. It's kind of, obviously you want P3, points in the bag is what you want, but if you finish P4, you don't get any ballast on the car, so you're in a better position tomorrow. So it's a tough one here for Tregurtha. But again, he's been getting faster and faster as the weekend's been going on. Seems like it's more of a bogey round for him. Current championship leader is Tregurtha on 83 points. But this is kind of a bogey round for him. So the fact that he's starting to get big points, I guess he's going to be relatively happy here. Look at this, though. A potential move then by Reinhard Koffler. So he has had a podium in his championship. He raced twice last season. He got a top 10 and a podium, so very quick. And Markovic then is going defensive up towards the final corner. And the KTM Expo / Crossbow just will not have enough poke here. That's why they've got no rear wing on the back. You can see the Moritz Lerner then still behind Uberhaus. Uberhaus doing a sensational job here. Oh, he went for the fake. Uberhaus read that very nicely indeed. But he's going to run wide here. Moritz Lerner, is he going to be able to get the overlap here? No, he's not. So he's still going to be in behind. As we've got DTM Sassy Cam back once again. So through turn number 2, they've now got the AMG to contend with here. Lerner again just trying to find a little gap up the inside. And Markovic then is going to take the opposite route here, round the outside, tries to square Lerner up. Lerner now having to go a little bit defensive. Uberhaus is being, well, he's gained a bit of time here, but I think Markovic may have the overlap. He does have the overlap. Down, no he doesn't, not quite. Oh, it looked like he had from that camera angle. And then Moritz Lerner just about gets it pinned then through the right-hander. And all of a sudden, Reinhard Koffler is looking for an opportunity himself here. Nico Verdonk and Mauron have been able to just drive away from this cluster of 4 cars. And this is a battle for effectively P7. So any one of these cars here could gain up to 3 positions, especially Reinhard Koffler, who is at the back. So through the right-hand kink, it's all flat out here, up and towards that final chicane. You see that Reinhard Koffler is going to go for the late run up the inside of Marcevic. And Marcevic is going to have to run wide here again. That KTM wants his on. Yeah, so able to go on the brake so much later than every other car here. Marcevic squeezing him, saying, well, you fancy a pit stop? And then realise, actually, no, there's no pit stops in this race. Better not do that to him. And what a move that is. Reinhard Koffler set him up and perfectly executes the move. Moritz Lerner then, not quite close enough. Marcevic is trying to get up the inside. Straight away, Reinhard Koffler makes the move for the wall. And now, because of the overlap, he will not be able to go up the inside of him into turn number 1. You can see the pace advantage here, but look at the braking. KTM brakes so much later, hits the apex, says thank you very much, and this is the perfect sector to be able to drive away here. Unless Marcevic can find a little bit of grip to work with, he cannot. There's no room up the inside, and Reinhard Koffler moves up to P9. Great stuff. Ben Green now 1.9 seconds clear of Schrey, and actually you can see now that we have got the Aston Martin and the AMG are both starting to now catch up to the leaders in this race, as we've got a bit of Audi about to fall off of Bourne's car there. Nico Verdonk not able to make any advances here on Lucas Maron still. Moritz Lerner now at the head. Oh, Lerner has got past? No, he hasn't. So Uverhaus still in the lead of that group? Yeah, he is. Sorry, the front of those cars look so similar. It's only when you look at the cars side on that they look a hell of a lot different. So Lerner still behind. P2 on the grid. He's going to be very disappointed with himself for sure. Yeah, he's going to be very, very disappointed with himself today. But it's a learning season. Like, he's been given his first opportunity in a top-tier championship. I think he's done very, very well, especially to qualify P2. There's a lot of experience around him as well. Only a young man. So Nico Verdonk closing in. Heinemann then starting to really fly here. He is now only 1.2 seconds behind Schrey. And this is where the BMW drop-off happens. The last 10 minutes of the race, the BMW just chews up those tyres, as it is 50 meters long and about 30 meters high. If you leave them stationary, the BMW gathers snow. They're that high. But yeah, it just seems like the BMW struggle near the end of a race. And now it's only 9/10 of a second. So Heinemann is absolutely closing down on Schrey. And maybe we're going to see the potential here of Heinemann take a victory. Who knows? Number 34 there, Uverhaus, just overextending ever so slightly. And these are also, of course, as you can see, BMW drivers. So they're going to be under pressure here from Koffler and Marcevic for me. Moving forward in this race, the gap then is still around about 9/10 of a second, but Heinemann is starting to close in. Nico Verdonk is going to get sick of the sight of this Audi by the end of this race for sure. This is a battle for top 5. Maron doing a sensational job of holding firm. This is now the long run here. Nico Verdonk again. Still flashing those lights. I reckon his light flash is broken. That's why it's flashing constantly. He's going to have a real sore hand by the end of this by flicking it as often as he has done. As Lerner has squared up Uverhaus through the final chicane, and I think it's going to be like taking candy from a baby. Up the inside they come. You can see that Reinhard Koffler's like, come on, Moritz, I'll push you through. Bit of bump drafting through the corner. And yeah, as you can see here, Moritz Lerner has got a position, but the BMW pace advantage over the KTM is taking effect right now. But how late can you go on the brakes then? Reinhard Koffler, is there the opportunity for a position? You've got to use Moritz Lerner here. You've got to use Moritz Lerner squeezing Uverhaus out wide and then try and sneak one up the inside. Uverhaus maybe trying to sneak one up the inside of 2. Not quite going to work out. Reinhard Koffler around the outside then in the KTM. You've then got Marcevic in the AMG just keeping very, very close monitoring of this situation. And actually, he might be able to make a move here on Reinhard himself. As they come then through turn number 5, great camera work once again. And Marcevic then has got the overlap again here, or is he not? He's got the power advantage for sure. Yes, he has, up the inside then. So Reinhard Koffler looked like he was going to get the position nailed. And unfortunately, in attacking, he's opened himself up to an attack from behind of Marcevic, and there we go. Marcevic now looking for a move on Moritz Lerner. Lerner defends the inside. Marcevic not able to do too much about it, and Theo Uverhaus is the big winner in this situation, finally. No, it is Theo Uverhaus, so Moritz Lerner did get the position. So Theo Uverhaus, after losing 1, is now under pressure to potentially lose 2 more. I told you that the BMWs are going to start to get caught. Tim Heinemann and now Tregurtha are very close to Schrey indeed. So Moritz Lerner now with some clear air, finally able to drive away. Reinhard Koffler trying to make a move up and towards that final chicane. Again, very good under braking. Markovic, though, is being boxed in by the 34 of Theo Uverhaus, but on the power nice and early. And I tell you what, I think you'll find that the AMG is going to make that move. The BMWs, like I keep saying, the last 10 minutes of a race, they really do tend to struggle. They're the quickest car probably overall on the grid. But in terms of their tyre wear, not the greatest. And now you can see that the KTM has just got to try and stay behind the AMG here, and then potentially, he doesn't want to try and outbrake the AMG, just wants to try and outbrake the BMW. Theo Uverhaus, though, is going to be squeezed out wide here, and he's onto the dirty part of the track. This should be a pretty easy move, actually, for Koffler. If he can get on the power early enough, he does get on the power early enough, but he's now being hung out to dry here by Markovic. They're too wide. You cannot go through too wide and gain time. It's just not possible. Too much curb, though, for Koffler, but he does. He makes the move, stick around the outside, through three they come, and Reinhard Koffler, what a drive this is so far. Markovic come through as well, and Theo Uverhaus, he kept them behind for maybe 6 laps, and unfortunately just too much pressure in the end. You can see in the background then Ortmann trying to make a move as well. So can Ortmann get up to P10? I think he realizes the BMWs are starting to struggle. He moves up to P11 now, and if he can get into the top 10, he will score points. So it's all about being in that top 10. Oh, frantic stuff. Frantic stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Ben Green still leading the way, 3 seconds in the lead, so even with bad tyre wear, he's pretty much going to be fine here unless he makes a mistake. But it all really does come down onto the battle for second position as it stands. Nico Verdonk in behind Lucas Mauron. And he's just got to try and force a mistake, really. But Mauron has been bulletproof, apart from the start, I guess. Obviously, he's down 1 position from where he started. But then when you got Tregurtha just gaining positions, it's almost like he's turned everyone else onto 0% AI in a sim race from his start. He went from P9 to P4 like it was nothing. When that's kind of happening around you, there's not much you can do about losing a position. But Mauron still holding on to that top 5, which, again, he'll be relatively happy with. Lerner has gone from P2 down into P7. He'll be disappointed, but he would have learnt a lot this weekend so far. He's still got another race tomorrow. So through the first sector we come again. So 5 minutes, 15 seconds left on the clock. We are nearly at the end of the race. And the battle for, well, here it is. Here's the battle for P2. Tim Heinemann, of course, he knows how to overtake. He is, yeah, he knows, he's pretty aggressive, to say the very least here, and he will be looking for this opportunity. Tregurtha will be loving to get onto the podium as well, and it's just really been a bit of a championship to forget so far for Heinemann. Of course, last season's champion, and I don't mean just champion. He was so dominant last season. Like, just getting the 2020 standings up here, he had 275 points, and he was 110 points clear of Jan Kissel. Shout out Jan Kissel to all of the Jan Kissel fans out there. Yeah, so he managed to finish 110 points clear of Jan Kissel over 12 races. So phenomenal stats from him. And he's just struggled for the start of this season. Obviously in a new car. Same team, new car. But is he going to be able to potentially get onto that podium here? Again, Ben Green, it's almost like he's got a rear gunner here. Schrey knows he can't win this race. And it's just kind of like, I've got to try and hold on to P2, but at the same time, is there the potential for me to slow these two behind me? And has he saved anything here? Because it looks like he may be going a little bit faster than he was, it's Michael Schrey. We head a bit further back then. This is the Mauron versus Nico Verdonk battle. As I say, it's always a Belgian, and there's one in 6th position right now. Moritz Lerner in 7th position with Markovic, then in his first ever DTM race, or DTM Trophy Race, should I say, in P8 as it stands. Reinhard Koffler in a KTM. He just does points. He's only raced twice before, and he's got points both times. It's looking like he's going to get that for the 3rd time. And then we've got Ortmann, who's in 10th position. In my weather app, I checked before this race whether we were going to have some rain, and it said over the next hour we would have some rain. It looks like we're going to miss that. It may now appear in the next half an hour, but as you can see, it's starting to darken up here at the Nürburgring. But again, no real need to mention it because it's not going to happen. Yeah, crazy. On towards the final few corners here we go then. 3 minutes, 12 seconds. So in my mathematics here, we're going to have 3 laps remaining. Heinemann also flashing his lights. Again, you've got to save those lights, Heinemann, because if you've got to drive home later on tonight and it's dark, you'll have no lights to use. Always thinking. Always thinking. Through the final chicane we come, you see the BMW trying to use as much curb on entry, but it's on the exit where Heinemann's able to utilise the curb. And this is very close indeed. And look who's now in very close contention for that top 3. It is Will Tregurtha. He's the leader of the championship this season versus the winner of the championship last season. Are we going to see fireworks here? I would like to say we will. So if you are new to the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you do indeed subscribe to this channel, because we do all of the DTM Trophy races on the YouTube channel for DTM. We also do a lot of the sessions for DTM here as well. There's so much content, it's ridiculous. As we can see here, oh, Nicholas Bourne. And that is all the way around. Let's check this out. So he's done 360. Dismounts nicely. All 4 wheels pointing in the right direction. We'll give that a 7.6. Nice dismount. Yeah, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you've bookmarked it. If you're watching on DTM.grid right now, make sure you've bookmarked the website as well. So yeah, we are on DTM.grid and we are indeed on YouTube. If you're watching on telly in Europe as well, hello. Hopefully you're enjoying yourself. If any of you've got any questions, you can tweet me at ActRollVision. I will just type in the chat now on YouTube so you can see my name at ActRollVision. Yeah, just type that into Twitter. You can ask me any questions after the race. And also on Instagram, you can ask me there as well. Why not? I'm all about making sure that people understand what the championship is all about. We want to try and grow this championship in terms of people watching, people being interested. And yeah, I think DTM are doing a fantastic job of that so far. 1 minute, 10 seconds to go. So we have got ourselves 2 laps remaining. And it's still all to play for. Ben Green looking very strong here for a potential race victory, and more than likely he's going to take the championship lead, actually. Yeah, he will take the championship lead by 6 points by my maths. Would it be 6 points? No, it will be 4. So 4 points difference if it stays as it is. Will Tregurtha, though, looking to try and get onto that podium position, who is in the number 85 AMG there, the one just coming through turn 1. He's behind the race room Aston Martin of Tim Heinemann. Heinemann looks like he may have saved something here. Oh, that's certainly not where you want to be. Well, it's where you want to be, but you don't want to be stopped there. And that is, yeah, not ideal. Sophie Hoffman then. Not having the best of days. But the best thing about this championship is we can do it all again tomorrow. Another chance to redeem yourself. Vincent Mauron. That's a pretty unique second name, to be fair. That's, yeah, mad that there's 2 people in the world with the same surname. So here we go then, up towards that final chicane, and then we will start the final lap of today's race. Ben Green has just been indestructible today. Qualified pole, got those 3 bonus points, and, well, by the looks of things, it's going to be a maximum of 28 points. I know there's going to be a lot of Ben Green fans in the chat right now. If you're a Ben Green fan, I want you to spam that GB flag in the chat. I know there's a lot of you. There's a lot of you in there. And he's done a hell of a job here. Across the line he goes, does the number 10. And what a day it's been here. He was the junior champion last season as well, so he would love to go 1 step further. So Ben Green, his career has been kind of littered with P2s. So he was a Ginetta GT4 Super Cup P2 in 2017, Spa 24-hour GT4 P2 in 2017. In 2018, he was the British GT Championship GT4 P2. So it's just P2s. But this season, something's hitting differently with Ben Green. He's found another gear, pardon the pun, and really is starting to get his clutches on this championship. He's been second pretty much throughout this championship, but today he's going to take the lead as long as he can keep the lead of this race. The battle for P2 is very much happening in behind. You can see that Schreyden is under a lot of pressure from Heinemann, and I'd be very surprised if Heinemann doesn't send one up the inside. But we're on board with Ben Green here, and this would be a fantastic achievement if he was to go out and win this race today. So Ben Green coming up then towards the final couple of corners. And through the chicane they come. Is Heinemann making a dive here? It looks like in the background there was a potential dive by Heinemann. Well, I guess we'll find out when they cross the line. Schreyden and Heinemann absolutely going ding-dong for it, but Ben Green, it's not going to matter. Ben Green's going to get 25 points, 3 points for pole. It's a win for Ben Green. He takes the lead of this championship 5 rounds in. Superb stuff then from him. It is indeed going to be Michael Schrey who hangs on. Heinemann finishes in 3rd position. Tregertha does take 4th spot. And well, I will indeed be able to give you the official points championship scoring as well. Lucas Maron holds on. He's got 17 cars behind him that he's had to block and keep hold behind, but ultimately does keep that position. So great stuff from him. And Moritz Lerner Verdonk P6, Lerner P7. We've then got Marcevic in P8, Koffler P9, Ortmann is in P10. That's your top 10. Wow, what a race. What a race, ladies and gentle cars. What a race. Hopefully you enjoyed that. We have still indeed got ourselves the podium ceremony to go as well. But yeah, that was absolutely phenomenal. I love this championship. It's just so exciting every single time. And well, do you know what the beauty of this is? It's only Saturday. We've got all day tomorrow to go as well, with a qualifying session in the morning and then a race in the afternoon at the same time as today. As the crowd there all clapping. Yeah, you love to see it. Absolutely. Ben Green on his victory lap. Great stuff. So hopefully you enjoyed that. A Carlo player. Stop it. You're going to make me blush. And what about the flag waving technique? Going to give that a extended arm, shoulder rolling nicely. We'll give that a 7. Checkered flag waving, we'll give that a 7 out of 10. Shoulder could be a little bit looser for me. And again, yeah, elbow nicely extended, wrist movements all there. Okay, 7.4. We'll give the flag wave about a 7.4 today. Into the pits then they come, and this is where everyone could go ballistic and drink their body weight in champagne. Ben Green picks up the victory, 3.7 seconds clear of Schrey. Heinemann and Tregertha then battling for that 3rd and 4th, and well, Heinemann came out on top. Maron, 5th position, Verdonk 6th, Lerner in 7th, Marcevic is in 8th, Koffler and Ortmann are 9th and 10th position. Uverhaus and Zendelli are in 11th and 12th position. Stolschmidt and Rink are in 13th and 14th. Jan Zimmer, Salonen are in 15th and 16th. Krayhamer and Bourne are in 17th and 18th. Schmidt and Scherban round out your top 20. Chandler Holt and Hoffman are in 21st and 22nd. There are a lot of drivers just outside the top 10 who have just done their first ever race in the DTM Trophy. Expect them to be a little bit faster tomorrow. Trust me, tomorrow is going to close up deliciously well. As we can see now, some nice replays here of Lucas Maron pretending to be Petter Solberg, which is absolutely no mean feat. I'd love to see that. And there's Ben Green, super excited, picking up another victory. And that is indeed his 2nd victory of the season. He takes the lead of the championship by 4 points. So 99 points, plays 95. Again, if you want to see all of the standings, how they've performed, head to dtm.com/DTM Trophy. And you'll see this all updated live as the race is happening. So yeah, hopefully you lot have enjoyed this today. It's all a bit of fun, ultimately. There's Heinemann, back onto the podium. He'll be relatively happy with that. He's got himself a couple of podiums this season. But again, it's not quite the same as last season. He'll get there, though. Obviously, he's a champion for a reason. It doesn't work like that. You don't just become an unchampion. It's just not how it works. To be young, just like nothing happened.
Fantastisches Rennen, wirklich perfekt. Es ist fürsorgliche Meisterschaft. 99 Punkte und 4 Punkte Vorsprung auf Tregertha. Das Team arbeitet so hart, ich habe das schon vor dem Rennen gesagt. Das Auto war fantastisch. Das Setup war besser als im Qualifying. Ich bin Vollgas gefahren jede Runde und konnte am Ende 3 Sekunden Vorsprung haben. Du hast gepusht. Es ist natürlich gut, diesen Vorsprung zu haben. Morgen nächstes Rennen. Auch morgen ist es nicht möglich. Es kommt auf das Wetter an. Qualifying noch gut, aber am Ende könnte es regnen. Eifelwetter, das kennt er. Vielen herzlichen Dank. Ja, der kennt das Eifelwetter auch schon. Das ist morgen natürlich dann das Thema, wenn hier tatsächlich morgen der Regen reinkommt, dann kann alles passieren, dann musst du nicht unbedingt dabei. Das ist so ganz
Es ist auch langsam Zeit für die Siegerehrung in der DTM Trophy. Wir fangen an mit unserem dritten Platzierten aus Deutschland, der amtierende Champion der DTM Trophy. Riesenapplaus für einen durstigen Tim Heinemann.
Auf Platz 2 im Ziel, ebenfalls aus Deutschland. Start Nummer 2 auf dem Auto von Michael Schreyden. Herzlichen Glückwunsch! Einen Riesenapplaus auch für das siegreiche Team FK Performance Motorsport. Congratulations! Diese Jungs haben das Auto zur Verfügung gestellt und fertig gemacht für den Sieger mit der Startnummer 10 aus Großbritannien. Congratulations, Ben Green! Und damit hören wir nun zu Ehren des Siegers, zu Ehren von Ben Green, die Hymne Großbritanniens. Ja, Gratulation und Applaus für alle drei hier oben auf dem Podium. Zweiter Sieg für Ben Green. Und damit würde ich sagen, meine Herren, take your trophies. Tja, und wenn die Fotografen dann gleich glücklich sind, dann wird es Zeit, dass sich die Kameramänner und die Fotografen in Sicherheit bringen. Weil jetzt, Ladies and Gentlemen, it's time for Champagne!
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is your podium ceremony. Here are your top three. Tim Heinemann in the number 1 car, last season's champion. He indeed picks up P3 on the podium. Didn't seem too happy about it, actually. I wonder if that is indeed going to be the fuel that he needs to indeed push forward in this championship. It was Michael Schreyden that finished out in second position. And well, it's Ben Green that takes the spoils, takes the finish, and indeed takes the championship lead as well. So Ben Green now leads the championship by 4 points to Will Tregurtha, Michael Schreyden, and Nico Verdonk. And we're all back with some more tomorrow.